Hello, I'm Jonathan Hodgetts, founder, owner and president of Wessex Tubas. I'm very happy today to show you our new Leviathan B-flat tuba. Isn't she a beauty? Now, this instrument is built specifically for British brass bands. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the tuba, how it came into being, and why we think it's better than anything else that's available out there. Now, the British Star B-flat tuba, or as they call them brass bands over here, B-flat bass, has not really changed that much for 150 years. It's a very big, unwieldy instrument, very tall, with a fourth valve around the side, which is quite difficult to reach, often a pretty high mouthpiece, and looks like it's been designed to be played by a giant. And it does not play very well either. And that's not my opinion, that's the opinion of the greatest tuba player that ever lived in the UK, the great John Fletcher, who said that he was really impressed at what a great sound the brass bands made, considering the poor instruments that they have available. And he commented how much better the German and American tubas are. Well, a couple of years ago, Wessex Tubas made a big 6/4, that means really big, B-flat tuba called the Prokofiev. And I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if we could try and do one in the British configuration for brass bands? For people that don't know, the American tubas have the valves on the front here, and they're not compensated, and you've got to do a lot of slide pulling to keep them in tune. The British style B-flat bass has 3 valves on the top, fourth one operated by the left hand, and very important, it's got the compensating system. You can see a bit on the back here, that's compensating tube in here. And what that means is when the first, second or third valve are used in collaboration with the fourth valve, a bit of extra tubing is put into the circuit, enable it to play tune right down into the low register. This is really important in brass bands because generally the B-flat bass part goes a lot lower than a part would in a wind band or orchestra, and often they've got to move around in this modern contest music quite a lot. So it's important to keep that compensated system with the independent fourth valve operated by the other hand. Now on the regular British brass band B-flat basses, often the valve is over here, it's quite a reach, the mouthpiece is often high, and therefore the player is really having to contort to play it. I know, I did it for over 20 years, and it's not comfortable. So the idea of the new Leviathan is to correct those ergonomic problems, make it easy to reach the fourth valve, mouthpiece not too high to reach, etc. What's quite unusual on this design is it's got a rotary fourth valve, which is what's popular in Germany. It's what all the Germans like using. And really it was a necessity as part of this design to enable to make it easy to reach. If we'd have put a regular piston like as on the traditional British B-flat bass, it would have been very difficult to get in the right position to be reachable and not have a detrimental effect on the routing of the tubing. And that's been something we've looked at all the way through the design of this. If you look, this is the fourth valve loop around here. It's a nice, big, broad, widely swept tubing. And that's to keep it nice and open and easy to play in the low register. Third valve tubing goes, there it is, third valve tubing, that goes up with the slide on the top and another one actually on the bottom. And that it's because it's shorter than the normal British B flat bass. Then the slide for the fourth is just above it here. So nice and easy. First, second slides in normal places. And here we've got the main tuning slide. Now we make this tuba in two versions. This one I've got in my hands is the handmade, handcrafted tuba. Now this is the model TB681. Now that is made from sheet brass. Now sheet brass, that is a technique of making tubas which has been very much the way in Germany, where they're made from a big sheet of brass and they're rolled around by a craftsman around a mandrel to actually make the shape. And the result is the metal can be quite thin, and therefore the instrument is lightweight and also very responsive. So it's a great instrument to play. The bottom bow here as well, that's all made of one sheet of metal, not in the way that the British tubas are normally made, which is like a big tube which is expanded into a mould to make the bottom bow. The result of that is it's uneven. Some bits have been stretched and very thin, they get very thin. I've known ones to sort of be so thin you can almost push them in. At the same time, it's very thick, and it makes a very heavy tuba. Whereas this is lightweight. This only weighs 21 pounds. That compares to 26 pounds of a regular British style B flat bass. But obviously there's a lot more work in making this, and it does mean a more expensive instrument. But as due to our working practices in Wessex, we still managed to keep the price less expensive than most other companies. But to give a less expensive option, we also do a hydraulically formed one, which is the TB691. You can see one here behind me. That is made in the regular way, just like a say a Boosing Hawks B flat bass, but it weighs only 27 pounds, only a slightly more than those much smaller basses that British players have been playing. Now, why is this better? Well, like I say, it's based on the Prokofiev, and the Prokofiev is the classic American tuba. It has the big classic York style format. And what we did, we put the compensated valve block on that body, so you kept the great sound of that American big tuba sound, while at the same time having the facilities of the British instrument. I'd like to think the best of both worlds. And nothing else has been made like it before, not by anyone. I guess because the valve set is so British and the design of the tuba is so American. And it's taken Wessex to bring those two things together. So it's got this big bell throat, much bigger than on the regular British B flat bass. But it means the tuba does the work for you. You don't have to work hard and really push the tuba. I equate it to like driving a car. This is like a high performance sports car with a big engine. This is going to zoom up the hills without effort. You don't have to put much work. In fact, if you push it too much, you're likely to lose control and it won't sound good. You've got to hold back a bit, where those regular British style B flat basses need to really be pushed. It's really a tribute to the players that play them. What a great sound they make, because they really have not got the best tool for the job. And that's the idea of this tuba, to give those B flat players in brass bands the best possible tool for the job.